All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Growing Up Alien. And so, just a little bit of backup from what happened last night after our live with Michael Sala. Many of y'all went upstairs, like I said, and there was a riot up there. So it was awesome. We definitely rocked some boats, and some people had their backsides handed to them, and that's the way we want it. So keep up the good work. Keep going upstairs and keep rattling cages because the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and they're gonna listen. We're gonna make them listen to us. So that's pretty much where we are. So just to add that, you guys say thank you so much for being there last night and letting them have it. So today, as we shift gears, I want to introduce to you a new friend and a new. We have so many warriors down here, and it's awesome being able to meet all you guys. So this I call this is kind of the hold my beer crowd. And tonight we have Dennis on today, and she has some amazing experiences, not only as a contactee, but as a remote viewer and an interdimensional experiencer. And we're going to have Dennis not only share her story, which I think will resonate with a lot of people, but also the AI she's been able to create on Canva, which I've not been able to create. So this is amazing. I definitely want to see how I can do this better because these AI that we're going to share today from Dennis's experiences, visions, and travels, I think are really going to blow some minds. I think you're going to have a lot of memories popping forward from these. So hoping to do several series with Dennis, and I know you all will really benefit from what we're gonna learn here today. So without further ado, and too many introductions, nobody wants to hear them. So Dennis, when do you remember? Well, actually, well, I'll have you just explain where you were born and some of your journeys here to the United States, so people can kind of, we'll have some of our audience here. And if you wanted to say a few things in Spanish as well, I think that we have a lot of Spanish-speaking viewers that would enjoy that. So I'll leave this up to you to give us a little bit of your backstory about your beginnings.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm very grateful and happy to be here. I'm from Bogota, Colombia, in Latin America, a beautiful country like a paradise. As it's tropical and it has any kind of weather you even imagine. And the coffee, famous for the incredible coffee. But a beautiful things as we have the Andes, the mountains of the Andes. And with that is the history about the Incas and the indigenous that impact our life. Here's something important that I learned, and I think it is incredible to remember and put points together or dots together. Obviously, I speak Espanol, I speak Castilian, and I speak some Muisca and English. I learned that in order to incarnate it here, this is my first incarnation in this planet, and I am going to explain about why and why with her, my sister. But when you are going to incarnate it, you need to find the same frequency as your soul. And that is the reason why I found that part of the planet to incarnate. So it is interesting to see how far away I was, and now where I am in the middle of nowhere. And I have been here for 24 years. And I came here with a political asylum. It's a very interesting story when you think about that. So never in my life I thought that will end it here, but I can say that I'm from here now. This is the part of the planet that I belong to with a purpose, with the mission that I didn't know until I start bringing all these memories. Important to say, I woke up when I was 18. Something happened when I was 18, but for any reason, I fell to sleep again. All that I remember is that I was a how do you say that in English? Clarividente?
Claire audience, Claire TV.
Clariaudiente, yeah. Yeah. Visual, Andrea.
Oh, Claire. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Spanglish here.
That's all right. I mean,
So I start seeing people and souls, and because I was very interested for the Buddhism, it was an incredible experience. But guess what? It wasn't my time to continue being awake, so I followed to sleep. But during that time that I'm telling you, one night, as I told you before, I was sleeping and I felt somebody by my feet. When I woke up, I saw this beautiful being, like goldenish, like without hair, and I felt a beautiful energy. But what happened is I freak out. I get up and I run for my life because I wasn't able to process that thought. But if I think about it, it's like it happened just last night because I can see his beautiful face and I can feel that love. Love. It's just nothing negative that you say, oh, that freaks me out because I have those experiences too, okay? Since 2020 that I woke up. So far, I'm good. So tell me, because I speak too much.
no, that's what you're here. That's what we're here to listen. We're here to
So
listen.
just
But that, and so many folks have had that experience of the vision of a different being that was finally coming to make contact with them. It always reminds me of the Sammy Hagar song, Love Walks In, which I think that song, if anything, I've never been, not a pop music fan, but that one song really, I think, nails the experience of the first like contact experience for most people. But you have your own. I'm going to put this in the just to remind folks in the description. I'm going to put your YouTube channel because you do have your own YouTube channel, and it's in Spanish for folks that speak Spanish, which is great. And you also met the shaman who just explains the Akuria Mate.
yes, que cha-cha.
Yeah.
So the channel, I tried to do it 2 years ago, but I stopped for 1 year because I'm a full-time worker and I also rescue a blind dog. So with him, it had been a hectic situation. So I stopped posting things because, to be honest with you, a full-time worker um, and being at home and everything is too much. And try to keep up with YouTube is demanding. It's like a full-time job. So I ended exhausted and I have to say what I'm going to do. I did a lot of interviews in English and Spanish. I have a lot of information uh, from the energy medicine point of view and behavioral. As I was explaining, Andrea, I'm a behavioral health um, therapist. I work for one corporation in Massachusetts, and that is my role as a worker, as a professional, helping people in behavioral health. And so therefore, I'm full-time worker. I have not much time.
But
And I rescue animals and I help and I just like I
But folks who will probably be new to your channel will enjoy the videos that are there, and that's all that matters. They're there, and so do you remember some of the contact experiences as well as any family members or partners that you have met in the years?
yes. So the context. In 2020, when I did my energy medicine classes, I also start experiencing situations. Well, so pause for 1 second because I would like to explain something about being well educated because I know there are many opinions about education, but with my love, I'm going to say this, education matters because through the education, we practice the critical thinking and discerning. And education changed our life because we learn to grow and our perspective change. Independently to different opinions, I would say that is a good thing to have. And if you have the opportunity to learn, I am speaking in general, go for it because that is going to change your perspective. Don't go against the institutions. Go with the flow, how much is going to benefit you. I have a master's degree in clinical social work. I'm a sociologist, anthropologist, and I have a degree from business administration in Espanol. And but I also just get certified in neuroscience, and I get that certification in energy medicine and you name it, in behavioral health for years and years and years. I have been doing in this field like for 20 years, and plus what I used to do in Colombia, helping people. So coming back to your question. So, but that time that we start practicing between therapist and the person who was our instructor, if I will, in energy medicine, she is another mental health therapist. We start exchanging, practicing with each other, doing healings with quantum energy. And when I less expected, during the first time practicing, Andrea, I start seeing people. So that is one of the things that I say that a person with education, a person with that critical thinking, a person who is practicing, you always go for your logic because you are balanced, because there is nothing wrong with you, because you have logic and you always go for it. And then you say, what is this? Like that. You always, your critical thinking is going to say, okay, what is this? I don't watch TV. I don't even listen to music with lyrics. All my life, I have been doing this for more than 25 years. No music, no TV, no blah, 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 blah. So therefore, you don't say, I'm getting impacted by this information or that information. So you have your clear mind and then you say, what is this? So the first image that came with those practice of energy medicine healings, it was a group of people with blue uniforms. And of course, by then I thought, oh, what's that? It was like something that opened like this, but I said, oh, it's a portal. But it wasn't a portal, it was a door from a ship, a spaceship. But I figured out that after because I said, you know, and they come through that door, a group of 7 or 8, I don't remember, but they are beautiful, and they say, hey, Dennis. I start laughing. I say, what? What is this? Am I? So right there. Then you need to put logic, and then I pay attention to the logo, and I start drawing. I like drawing,
Oh,
and then
the badge they wear.
yes, right here. Thank you. Yes, right here. So I have to go back thinking because those images are impregnated on you forever. You remember that. That is why the critical thinking is vital because that helps you with your memory. Because right there is where you say, okay, what is happening in here? So I start drawing and I start drawing just like meditating, closing my eyes and let my hand, I'm left-handed, going and going. And I start drawing symbols and things. And just now I learned that those are Arcturians symbols with different meanings, but because I say, yeah, what is this? But again, me then is the Terran woman who is here trying to figure it out things, but little by little everything start coming and it making sense. So after all those healings, I start seeing people, even Terran people. A woman from India came in the astral projection to teach me how to work in my root chakra, for example. And I was like, what is this? But you can sense the energy of people and you sense that love, that good intention. And it's like right now, how we are right now, Andrea, is like that. And it's brilliant, the way how we perceive and how we see people. After that, one night, as I told you, I was sleeping, like just like resting, and I hear Dennis, like when you are a child and your best friend is calling you from the mountains or wherever, because you run to say, hey, and I said, what is this? And then I start just coming this image, everything white, beautiful, but like that feeling of being safe and in love. And I saw this beautiful woman, myself, my high consciousness, if I will, but I didn't know in that moment because you don't think about that. You are living the experience. You try to put logic, but it's when you reflect about that that you say, "Oh, wait a minute." So I'm glad that you are seeing me, Dennis. I love you, and I'm always with you. And okay, so I woke up. I said, "Oh, what was that?"
What was
Again, critical thinking because who is this person? Very beautiful, tall, white, incredible hair, and beautiful smile, eyes like eyes, beautiful eyes, and just like with the most loving energy. You know, and you feel, and your energy field, your aura, you can feel it, you can sense it, your heart is what is teaching you and telling you if it's real or is it's negative, is how people say today days, negative beings or whatever. So many things start happening, and then I start seeing my partner who is in a hell, and he is super funny. He has his blonde hair, beautiful face.
it?
He's super handsome. He's like doing silly things every time that we connect because I'm a very serious person, like all the time like that. So he always joke with me and he says, "You need to relax, chill out, because it's just you are too serious." And he does
Actually,
silly.
is that the picture? Because a man came to me yesterday, and the picture that I have of that blonde man with the white shirt on, is that your your man?
That could be him because I also, because I am a multidimensional, all we are. I am between many lives, and as I say, just like it's a lot of information. It's no, I'm not remember only one. It could be him, or it could be in Altian.
Okay, no, this guy I saw yesterday who came into me,
Uh,
very pretty, handsome, but very delicate features, but chiseled features though, not like cute, but and he had gold, no, yellow blonde hair, like maybe to here, but strikingly beautiful, like perfect lips, everything about his was extremely perfect, and he's just very pleasant, and he came to me, and I was just wondering, I'm like, I don't know who, he didn't introduce himself, he just I was wondering if maybe because we're going to be doing this today, that might have been your man.
and there is another one, another person that he is from the inner earth.
This guy,
And
this guy was not inner Earth, so this might be somebody else.
oh, okay, okay. So right there, see, it's three different
Right.
persons, and then you try to figure it out who, Hemelech, my beloved one, he is definitely working for the Galactic Federation, as we know, or as we think is, and but he is coming and going because sometimes he is assigning different duties, and so he leaves this galaxy or he goes to different places. So we stop seeing each other or connecting because we are attuning or connecting with each other. But different to him, then the rest of the people start showing. Is when the Arcturians came. Oh, but no, I have to go back. I take all this back because 1-9, I was in my computer and an information came with the Arcturians. And I say, I would like to see how you guys are because you have been like popping in and they showed me through the computer. They say we were Googling and basically they show me an idea of how they are. So I say, oh, I have an idea then because I was seeing these people, this being, uh, you know, you are trying to make sense to all this, but not necessarily you have names. And it was through Google that I found that they are Arcturians, which we kind of fear about the names because, to be honest, and we had this discussion before, Andrea, to bring words to
Right.
make sense in English and Spanish or any language from the planet Earth is very tricky because what we sense are frequencies.
Right.
and I have this conversation with my guys, and I say, guys, so they always laugh a lot, and they say, we are going to show you frequencies by drawing. So
Yeah,
they start showing me, and I say, stop, stop, because it's like it's energy.
yeah, yeah,
And that is what you are trying to bring here, energy, and then you try to make sense to names. I try, and sometimes we fear and opinions because this person this say this and the other say this, but we forget something. Perspective. All we have different perspective and cultural diversity. We have different cultures because it's where we are here. This is the place that we are. And culturally speaking, we have different impacts in our life, different perspectives. So I am learning a lot of things with neuroscience because it explains very well. And also, if you combine with behavior,
yeah.
we can understand better all these that this person say this and the other no, this is right, this is wrong, and it's becoming like a pattern. And when a pattern is becomes like that is when I compare and I say it used to be like religions with love. I say this and respect because you become part of how they speak, how they communicate. So in this community, new community we are trying to form, we are trying to say, no, it's in this way, oh, it's in that way, but we forget that each one of us has a different perspective. And you know what I mean? And if we come together, we can come to the realization that, oh, wow, very interesting. So it's similar, but the perspective is very important to keep in mind.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, that's great, man.
So, then what else can I say? I start seeing three Arcturians of part of my team. I start seeing three Hell part of my team. Beautiful them. My high consciousness, and I also see the soul of the planet. In general, people say Gaia, but one afternoon in one of the towns around here that is a farms everywhere, I was driving, and I am always feeling feeding or eating or my nutrition is nature, except for spiders. And that afternoon it was like breezy. It was like the sound of the breeze came to my ear while I was driving, and it says, Anegalena, Anegalena, Anegalena. Remember perspectives and how things are coming. And it like a song, like nature when it's singing, if I will. And I say, okay, and the connection and the remembering. Before of that, I already have connection with the soul of the planet. It was a connection so strong that my body started twisted
Yeah,
because
yeah.
her energy is so powerful. And then is when I remember that I am part of my family is Gaia or Anegalena for eons. It's no time to count because we are all souls. And when her and I remember and we try to bring memories, I don't know how to explain the energy of Anegalena or Gaia or Mother Nature or Mother Earth. Because when we see each other, we see ourselves in our essential.
Mhm.
We are energy, but we bring memories and we have a lot of memories. That's one of the reasons why I am here because of her. But how can I explain how all this play? Because we are multidimensional, but I have to come here through the fifth dimension, through the hell race. Do you know what I mean? It makes sense? So right there, and I am trying always to ask all those questions. As a sociologist, I always, why? Wow. Like, do you know what I mean? It's the nature. And when all those questions, normally is my mentor who he's an Arcturian and he's normally the one who is answering me. Or sometimes he doesn't because he says, you are not ready. You are not ready. And I go, "Ugh." So, but then many memories are coming, and one of those is that they rescued me, Andrea. they rescued me from a situation with the insectoids.
Yeah.
And because I have been asking him why I'm so chicken with all these insects, with the spiders, but it's phobic. I have a phobia. I'm confessing publicly. So I am speaking to him and I say, but, and he says, because that memory, Dennis, is too traumatic. But if you want to see it, I'm going to show you just a segment of that memory. The torture that I suffer in those beings' hands left me very harm and trail or whatever you say in English, and that is the reason why I cannot stand spiders. It
Yeah.
was awful.
Yeah.
So, so because I say, oh, because I'm a city woman, I grow up in blah blah blah, and I know insects. But why is so deep? Why is so just that you feel that you are losing your control? So when that memory came, obviously I was like this because it was awful, Andrea,
Yeah.
that memory. Then they came in, they rescued me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They rescued me from many situations because what happened is I have been in many places
Yeah.
during many years. Lyra, Sirius, Andromeda. I have been in many places that I just like try to remember. It's a lot of information. So I spent a lot of time in Arcturus, and I was in their academy. They have this academy where they teach you. They are incredible. They are lovely. The technology is amazing, and what we learn primarily from these beautiful people is just more energy, spiritual, is just a high level. And one of the memories with all those pictures is that going in there because most of the time when I'm traveling, I'm in their spaceships. We
Mm.
go to different places. I'm always with them. I'm with the hell I am, but it's like because it have been so many experiences with the Arcturians, there is a very strong connection with them. It doesn't mean that I don't have connection with my beloved and this group of incredible people is amazing, but everything in special times. Everything becomes in order. Because if I bring all that information, I go crazy because it's too much information. But it just like, for example, the land people is another part of the memories that come to my mind because I was there. I have to fight with them, helping them as well because I have been in many places for different situations and I am witness of all of that. I'm trying to remember a specific situation. That is the tricky part for me. And I was telling Andrea, if I lose focus, please redirect me because when all the information is coming to me is simultaneously because everything is happening at the same time. Like with the Lyra, magnificent people because I see them and I feel at home with them. So they came in one day that it was sunny outside and I love to be in my bed. So I start doing my dancing somehow. Don't ask me why. I start listening to this beautiful music and I closed my eyes and they were right there present, dancing with me. And it's like you feel that you are with them right there. You know what I mean? It's like you are in a space that is not here and is not there. It's just happening. And you feel that nostalgia and you start like with that emotion, melancholic emotion, because you miss them so much that you just want to hug them. And but that big smile and the way how they speak to you is just love,
Yeah. Like
unconditional love. And then you know that is true. It doesn't matter what anybody else think about this. It's my perspective, it's my experience. And it's with love that I'm sharing this with you because I invite you today to step in. Don't be afraid. And if you have any experience, open your heart and you are going to bring those. Not because we want to be famous or because, no, I think it's time to reflect about who we really are. And I always say united because we need to be united. We need to bring this together without that judging, without criticizing, without because I had this experience and the other one already had similar experience. It's just like stop. It's time to make this happen with love.
Yeah.
I know many are tired to hear this, but if you center who you really are in your heart, and obviously as a behavioralist that I am, I'm always going to say inner work. You have to do your child, your inner child. You need to hear your child. But as me, because of my profession, and I do this frequently every single day with my patients. So if you want to clear your path, start by working in this life in your inner self. And once you forgive from your heart any situation you may go through, you are going to see how you start remember things. Please be careful with your ego, because that is your shadow. And when that happens, you become confused because we are in a polarity or duality or anything that you may want to call it. So your shadow is going to betray you eventually if you don't know who you really are. So that's why people start getting confused because you need to do your inner work. The questions you have are inside of you, not outside. And we become followers because it's a pattern that we bring from before being awake, because we had that tendency to be followers for doctrines or for anything, if I may, cults. And now people become dependable of what others are saying. And that is going to block you. Don't allow that noise to change who you really are. You need to learn to lower the volume from the outside because the real voice that you need to hear is from your heart. See, I'm speaking about something and I jumped right now here. And I'm speaking about the lions, but because right there is the key heart, the center. Why do you think that we have this heart? Because the heart is the important part. We learn and we grow up thinking that was the brain because that's the education we received. It makes sense, Andrea, because when you allow your heart to go to your brain, your critical thinking is with love and compassion, and is going to make that balance that we need.
Yeah.
Remember that logic that I was speaking about from the beginning? That was the logic from the brain. But when we lower that volume and we allow our heart to go to see what really is happening, right there is the crystal clear of who you really are. And that is what I'm discovering, and it's what I am remembering, that's what I'm learning. I don't know anything, but at the same time, maybe, you know?
Mhm.
And what are the proofs? Here is, I am. I am the proof, you know?
Yep.
And right there is where you need to start, because I know there are many doubts. People is reading too much or listening too much, and all that reality and the truth get distorted. You getting to that point that you don't know to who you listen is simple. Go inside yourself. That is the voice that you need to hear first
Yep. That
before anything else.
that's discernment right there.
Exactly. So I know social media, which I dislike totally. I am trying to keep my distance from all that. But maybe perhaps is the way to connect today with each other. Us is how I meet you, Andrea, through social media, through YouTube. That's the only thing I use. You know what I mean? But the powerful way to keep connecting is through ourselves, telepathically speaking, telepathy is a beautiful way of communication because you don't have to speak too much and you don't have to give so many explanations and how can I explain this or that? No, because you go directly to the point and the other person is going to see what you are saying without any.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing with the pictures, because I'm going to pull these up, and that's a great lead in, because the pictures give so much information, telepathically, to
And that
what experiences people have. So I'm gonna pull them up. Here we go.
Yeah, that is the way that I learned to speak through pictures, through
Yeah.
images, through try. Oh, that is the inner earth. So that is a
You know,
tunnel.
okay.
And I found this interesting, and there are many more. I have more than 500
Oh my
pictures
God, they're
of
amazing. They're amazing.
because this is the way we travel, because the inner earth and the hollow earth, they have different passages, and it's how they connected with each other, transport how they move,
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
transportation ways. So I have been there. So going back to my healing experiences when I was doing energy medicine classes, the first thing that I started going to was to the inner earth. But I didn't know by then, Andrea, because I didn't know. So
Right.
I start going and I say, but why I'm seeing all these caves? What I'm seeing all these people? What I'm seeing all this?
Mm.
And then in one point, I thought, oh, maybe I am going inside of people. You know what I mean? And I say, what is all this? No, guys, I was going to the inner earth and the hollow earth. And this picture is like a resemblance of my experiences. It's nothing compared what you are seeing, but trying to bring this here to show you the the capacity the inner earth people have, or crypto, whatever. Anyhow, so because they have the technology. So what my understanding is, my point of view, my perception is, these people is people from Lemuria and from the Atlantis, that they went to the inner earth when all the catastrophic events happening here. Something that I learned, Andrea, I remember that I was an observer. And I was in that time period, I wasn't incarnated, I was an observer. And I used to see a lot of situations, even with the catastrophic events start happening, because those were not only in one time, it's like in different events. So when you start remembering and start seeing people and different families and the perception and how they went through all those, it was very painful. Some of them, not all of them, went migrated down to the earth. Some are more in eh, close to the surface, if I will, and they learn to live their lives over there. And now they are 5 density and they live incredible, because I still trying to remember, because when I dream or I meditate, I still see them. And they live in beautiful places. They have oceans, they have this intensive light, that sun. Or the thing is, most of the light is coming from the crystals, the powerful crystals. And somebody was saying in these days that the planet Earth and all planets are crystals
Mhm. Yeah.
and information. So just remember, or I just want to share with you, crystals contain a lot of information from time to time, from eons, and they have the capacity to um, archive a file. Can I
Right.
say, Andrea? File
Hold as like a computer chip. Yeah.
information, exactly. And also they have the power to heal. They have the power to give light to anything that comes to your mind, guys. Crystals, and we have many in this planet and everywhere, and not only this universe and other universes, because it's not only one universe. And I learned about this while learning about my mission. So, would you like to go to another picture, if you don't mind, to see what I can remember to share? Excuse me.
I load them as a video because it's easier for me to. There it is. This gentleman.
Oh,
The guy I saw yesterday, very, very similar to this, almost exactly like this guy. Who is this?
So he could be in a hell, but it's more an Althea.
Okay, all right.
But because my partner, when I see him, his hair is shorter. I have a picture of my partner. As I say, I have so many pictures that I have to choose, pick and choose.
Yeah.
And it's also bringing me to when I went to the highest density from what we call the angelical density, which is not going to tell you how I perceive that, is Asturmurus. Asturmurus. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's the frequency of the archangels.
Okay.
And Ariel, if I can perceive that name, that is probably different, is one of the archangels, and he is similar to him. That was another incredible experience that I have when they brought me there, like to the 13 or 12 density. It doesn't matter numbers, it's that the experience.
Yeah.
And while going in there, they showed me so many beautiful things like crystals, again, light energy. Because immediately when I say crystals, people is going to say, but it's no material things. But you are mistaken. Oh, my perspective, my bad, is that it's energy, pure energy. And you need to manifest to understand. When we manifest, you see, you see. There
Right.
is a place called Patra, and this place is multidimensional where you can create how you want to live. This place is for when you are not incarnated anymore. So if you want to live in a humble house, you create your house, so on, so on. So this is an example of how we manifest to understand what is around us and what is the experience. So during this experience with these archangels, I went to that incredible place that if we translate in a language in this planet, we can say castles,
No.
a castle in purple and iridescent crystals, which is energy. And they are gigantic, they are huge. And the one who brought me there, he had this helmet on. And I remember telling him, you need to remove your helmet because how I am going to know who you are? And he laughed and he removed the helmet. And when he showed me this guy, gorgeous, 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 more energy, obviously, more like there are no words. How can I explain?
Oh yeah.
Right?
I
Energy,
think
it's
most
just,
people know. They've been through. Yeah. Yeah.
it's your experience as you, it's just like you fall short to explain
Yeah.
because there are no words. And so when he did that, he invited me to go inside to that castle, to that beautiful, magnificent place, and all they start coming and like, we miss you. How have you been? You are part of us. You are blah blah blah. And I'm like freaking out, but at the same time at home,
That's
you know?
yeah. I think we've all yeah. I mean, when
Be-
you feel like you belong, you know.
yes, but again, the logic. Okay, so this guy,
This
this
reminds
is
me of the. I mean, you got the best. I can never get the AI to do what I want, but this looks like some of the medical bed or healing chambers that I've been brought up on. It's not this is a holograph, but that like the way the room looks, that's exactly some of the rooms I've been brought to.
it's just like the idea, right? So, but the idea is like you try to bring what is in your mind to
Yeah,
explain. And And are there places like those, and perhaps it's even different, and it's more exotic, more complex, more like well made, but to bring those images here and to try to understand is just like something like this, simple.
Well, just
And
what it looks like on the ships. I mean, it's just like this. This is
yes,
the I don't know how to describe it. It's like an essence. It's an experience. I mean, this is what, this.
because you see these images, if you go to a spaceship, you see that everywhere, basically. It's just like even if you are in a resting area, you see things, holograms, you see all these, how can you explain, spatial, spatial or space or, technologies. So see, when you get short explaining is when I found a way to explain through pictures because
Oh yeah.
I don't need to say much because you can see it, even though it's not exactly, but it could bring you to think about that. The lights are different, depends where you are, depends with what beings you are. Sometimes there are turquoise, sometimes are only white, sometimes are different intensities of, because the light is very important.
Mhm.
I always say the light is always important in a way you feel identify and you feel good about it. They just frequency that become like together, like a tuning or connected. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, these pictures I think are going to really wake up a lot of people. They're going to be saying, "Oh my God, I remember that." Whoops. And here's another. Yeah.
Some of them are from Canva, some of them are found in Googling and searching here, searching. So this one is not exactly, but it's an idea of the ports when you go to Arcturus and when the spaceships are landing is something similar. It's when you are approaching, you see those places and you know there's a huge structure and like an airport, if I will.
Mhm.
Like when you are arriving and you are descending in an airplane is something similar. You are coming with the spaceship and then you go in there like if you can see there is like an entrance, a huge entrance,
Yeah.
and then you go over there and then you can land. And they have different halls, and then once you are out of the spaceship, so they bring you from tunnels. It's a lot of light everywhere, and like bridges, make bridges, and then you cross the bridge, and then you go to the hall, and then they bring you to these huge salons or rooms where normally when I am having those experiences is a table and is people around having a meeting. That was my experiences with Arcturus and that is why I thought, and I have similar pictures to this one, trying to bring that experience that I incredible I had. Yeah.
Yeah. That one was foreign to me. I don't remember anything like that. And here,
Oh,
there's a beautiful. Yeah.
oh, this one was
Lyra.
Lyra, because it's a lot of vegetation and they learn to make construction with nature and it is incredible the technology how we are trying right here but with the time goes by and the experience and the needs make us to go to these places and when I am in those places I try to bring the best that I can because as I say it's a lot of information and it's nature is a privilege because through nature we connect and through nature we have more clarity. That is why I always encouraging people to grounding. And I know how many people is going to say that Lyra and the worst, but they have beautiful places like this one. And I have been in their villages too. This is more contemporary, if I can use that expression, but as well they have this little village and they have these houses without roof, but everything is with nature. And
Oh,
then you go over there and the people welcome you and it's like you're home. It's just so cool. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can rock with that. Let's for sure. Here we go. Another.
Oh, that's era.
I was kind of. That's like more where
So
this is more where I'm from, the north
yes,
and more
I
northern.
I have been in these places and you try to remember because you feel that you need to bring that and you need to bring the colors
Yeah.
and you need to bring the riches of that experience. But this is something similar. Obviously, it's not exactly, and obviously because it's a beautiful place, or we may be in different parts of the planet of the, you know what I mean? Like here, like when we are in the Caribbean, you are going to see the water turquoise and the water is clear and blah blah blah. And then this place came and many more similar to this one. But you, in your heart, you know where is this located because
Yeah, the light where
you
I'm
know.
from is more like Northern Europe. And that's it's an entire planet. So we have some other pictures that are reminiscent of the of more southern parts of the planet, which I think are really cool. But here we go. I think they're somewhere. They're here. There's some more pictures that you have, and that you're rocking the AI. I'm telling you, that's like
As I say, I found some, I make some, and try to, bring. You're going to find this also if you Google it. And this is Arcturian. They have this planet that I don't know the name. I cannot use other words because they always, after the wars, they have problems with water in Arcturus.
Mhm.
So they develop incredible technologies and they develop technologies like this to have these habitats. This is nothing to what you are trying to bring when you are seeing those magnificent places. Um, and when you go inside, you go in the interior, it's like everything is alive. Everything has a consciousness similar to how they live in inner earth here.
Yeah.
Everything has consciousness. You and nature are one
Now, are
because,
these floating?
yes,
Okay, I thought so. Yeah. All right.
yes, yes.
Yeah, I could go on a little vacation there for sure.
Oh, let's go.
I could go on a little. I'm not coming back. It's not going to be a vacation. I'm not going back. And here's another.
A city, it's a city. Oh God. This city, Andromeda.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That.
I'm trying to remember. As I say, I have like 500 pictures, and there are many. But it's a city. It's a place that where you see the buildings, see the top of the buildings. Like if we think about crystals, and
Mhm.
if we see because there are cities of crystals in many places, crystals. So that is the resemblance of what they use that kind of architecture for different factors, depends where you are, and everything is um, easy to go through, if I can say it.
Yeah.
Easy to move from one place to another, easy to mobilize, and everything is without complications like we have here. That if we have no gasoline in our car, we cannot move.
It-
Or you have to use your bicycle, or you have to walk, or you have to take your horse, like your horses, Andrea, and you have to go through.
yeah.
In
Well,
here,
this city here, except for there's one not well semi near where I live there. This is similar to the cities in Era. The one that near us, there's no river in the middle, and it's a little bit more clustered. You cluttered. You have another picture that actually looks a lot more to what the city that is near to us, where Ika used to go to work a little bit. But yeah, this one's a little. I feel like a different, like
it feels,
higher vibe here than what we have in our cities.
but it feels clean. It
Clean.
feels
Yeah, yeah.
like no pollution.
Well, there isn't.
It's
Yeah.
it's an idea, trying to bring all that information is tough. So trying to find that, trying to put something is like, okay, how can I say this? What is similar? It's just tough.
Yeah, it's
Let's
me.
put it that way.
I don't care. You know, I'm just not a city person. No matter off planet, anywhere. it doesn't resonate for me as too. This is more like now. This is similar to
Yes,
So we don't. There's some like some of the weird stuff in the middle there. It's that doesn't ring a bell, but the sensation of being kind of pressed is actually this would be similar to the city where Ika used to work. There's a big fountain, so a lot of people have been there. The buildings look something like this, and you feel like crushed, and it's clean, but you still feel like, "Ugh," and there's a lot of people at you, there's a fountain before you go into this city. There's a really large like fountain. It's kind of like the main gate entrance. And so do you remember where this is similar to this? I mean, do you remember where this was?
probably there. I don't remember, honestly. I have that picture and I say, look at again the tower that in the middle is just like
Yeah.
similar because it's like, let's say that is the future, to say something.
Yeah.
And they or we learn to make these kind of buildings in a practical way to be energy efficient, if I will. That is practical for us, that people can be there so they can come together. But the way how we work, I don't know if you remember that, Andrea, we don't work as we work here. Like I'm a full-time worker here and
But
work
no,
40 hours.
you
We don't work that much over there.
oh
We work
it's like an exchange. You do get, it's like a barter system, but really sophisticated barter system. And Eco would go into the city, like he would take, and then that's exactly, I mean, the sensation, what you feel here would be what it would feel like. Yeah, the buildings aren't exact. I mean, it is AI, so the buildings don't look exactly like that, but
exactly.
they are close
It's kind
together.
of it's kind of an idea, and
An
as I
idea,
say, it's
yeah,
just
and there's tons of people on the street, and I don't ever. I've only gone there a few times. He was going in to do something, or we were just staying there for a little bit. It's just a lot of energy for me, and I don't. I know there's actually some ladies that live in the city and they do healing. So I do have some people that I know there, but people do live in these very high skyscraper type. Good luck to them living in those places. But yeah, it's where it's where all the not all of it, but where a lot of the work is done, and the food is grown. Is you have the replicators, but we also grow a lot of food because people do want fresh food. You can actually grow it in your apartment.
yes, like
There's
hydroponics, hydroponics.
hydroponics, people grow it there. And then there's also areas where the food is grown and you just go every day and get
And
whatever.
you take it and you have to pay for it. Yes.
Same
Yeah.
with Venus. Yeah, so that's a good, I'm sure this is going to trigger a lot of memories for a lot of our Canadian viewers. This does not trigger any memories for me, so I'll leave this.
This is like Altian. This is the memory that I was telling you about when
Wow.
I go through the sun, when I travel and I pass the sun, go inside the sun.
Oh,
And I remember I was telling you that I see this purple city, this place.
yeah, yeah.
This is similar to what I see. This is one is from the internet. And but when I saw this, I say, I have been there. I have been there. Well, it's the idea. But when you go and you go inside the sun, which is a portal, it's not hot, it's just energy. So
Right.
you go through, and then when you go through, everything is like pink, like these colors like this, and then you continue going. It's like your consciousness, it's like you are flying, if I can use that expression, and then you start seeing all these places, but it's just like incredibly huge. But it's not only structures, you can see nature, you can see everything. It's just like you are dreaming, basically. Do you know
Wow.
what I mean? It's just like, and then you feel
Yeah.
the energy, but it's an energy of peace. Like when you are meditating and you breathe and you feel that happiness and you feel like butterflies in your stomach because you are so happy and that emotion is so intense is when you go over there.
Oh yeah. No,
And it's
that
amazing.
doesn't trigger any memories for me. I've never been there, but yeah, you get this just it's just bliss. It's like you can relax in a way you've never relaxed before.
Exactly because it's not too much, but it's this mellow, it's this like, it's no time, it's no space, it's just you and your experience going through, and it's so rich in what you are seeing that it's impossible to bring everything that you are seeing and you are experiencing.
No, that's
And if we put it in emotions, because let's speak about an emotion, it's happiness.
oh, I mean that's like happiness doesn't even here's an
No,
interesting character for you.
ah, my beloveds. So I found this in the internet. It's just, again, you try to bring, people have different perspectives, people have, experiences. It's not exactly, but this is my mentor.
Okay.
And I love him to pieces because I have learned so much from him.
Yeah, he's
And
interesting. Nice vibe. Yeah.
he is just love. What can I say? He's mellow, he is funny, he is just always trying to remind me that nothing has to feel perfect. It's just like go through the experience and just are you learning. Even if it's a bad experience, if it's painful and traumatic, what did you learn from? So he is the one who helped me when I went through. I was transmuting my energy from my inner trauma, from my childhood and blah in this life.
Hmm.
So I went to float in Epsom salt, as I was telling you. And while I was floating, I was transported to the spaceship where he was, and he was helping me to transmute my 7-year-old trauma. Painful as hell. It was for weeks that pain, but we got it. In fact, while I was going through that experience with him, my beloved one came, my hell
Hmm.
beloved, and he came through that portal that I didn't know that was a door. And he came, so the door opens, and he comes and he has a uniform and he's very concerned. You have to see his face, and he's, how's she doing? Is she okay? Is she going to be okay? And he says, calm down. We
Oh,
already did it. She is going to survive because the experience was so bad and traumatic that was like just like you need to do that in order to remember. So,
a hell men are drama queens.
but beautiful, you have to see, it's like, it's just love. You feel it. You feel it. It's like with him, my mentor, he's amazing. I love him.
Yeah,
And
a cool guy.
and I don't know if you remember I was telling you that I was asking for more clarity, for
Yeah,
more,
yeah.
so he came more clear to me and with this all of energy. But it's just, again, words are words describing and
Yeah,
feeling and being there. It's just not enough to say it. Yeah.
it's yeah, it's super awesome. There's just no comparison here.
And of course, all of them have names. He has a name.
Yeah. Oh, this one is nice suit.
Oh, they are the Andromedans.
I was gonna say it looks like the Andromedans I've talked to. Yeah.
I have seen them. It's not much to remember about, but when you see them, you feel that something happened there and you identify. And those buildings that I tried to say, I saw that,
Hmm.
trying to bring that. And these are the beings who are the habitats of those buildings, all that city, the first one that you showed me.
Okay.
So,
Oh.
but it's just, again, it's a soft energy, mellow energy, very mm, calm people, balance people, center people.
Yeah. So this is
And
actually what I got. A similar woman like this. And I know Jeff Rohn will be watching at some point. So for Jeff Rohn, this is similar to. She wasn't wearing this kind of uniform, but I think it's Andromedans that are trying to contact him. We had a hard time, connect. So, but anyway, that's who's in touch with him.
Yeah, amazing.
Such an elegance, it's such a beauty, it's really.
And they are very tall, and I'm 5'2", so all the people is like, oh my God, hi,
Yeah.
hi. So
We're
yeah,
little midget things, it's oh, this one, I like the little coat. The AI gave you a little jacket, which is cute, but here's a
that that's me. That's me.
yeah, that's
That is me, and I put the face because again, the land, I just have beautiful memories with them. I just, I love and I miss them because they are magnificent. They
yeah,
have a huge and beautiful heart, and part of our origins are from the Lyra.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's for this series. Yeah, that's all we have now for this podcast. And I'm looking forward to so what we should do, actually, you and I should get together and pick through some of the other pictures that you have and set another storyline together. So rock and roll on that for sure. There's a beautiful picture. I think I might pull it. I'm going to steal it from you and put it as our it's of the southern part of Era, and we'll spend another podcast talking more about those experiences and those photos. You have so many amazing photos. There's no way it's just I want to show them all. And
Yeah, but the ones that I told you about where I live, the house, the white house that I
yeah,
entered, and I
yeah,
knew that was my house, and then I started looking and seeing. It's just, as I say again, some I created, some from I Google it, some are over there. So
yeah.
feel free to use it. I
All right.
really don't care. You know why? Because we are free.
We are free.
Because we are, you know what I mean? I am not, you said, what is the problem? I'm not going to say I'm exclusive
It's
and
gonna,
blah, blah. No, 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 no. It's like if you go to my channel, Denis Rozo,
hmm,
go and explore. If it's for you, use that material because it's from my heart, from my education and my energy medicine, and from the behavioral perspective. But everything is from the center, from my heart. And as I said before, every time that I remember more, I'm more aware about who I am. And I know what my mission is in here, and I know what I'm capable of. Yesterday in a chat, called my attention that people is asking for ways of protection,
oh yes.
and the protection comes from you. You are the most powerful being.
Yeah.
Don't allow any technology, any narrative, any group, any whatever you say in English and whatever language to take that from you because the biggest porno propaganda is fear.
That's their thing.
And if you allow them to take your power, your free will, then you are giving that permission. So don't, because you have the power. And I learned this from all those eons and all those lives that I'm bringing, because we are the ones, sorry, from
Oh,
Colombia.
hey.
Oh my God, and the internet is not working and it's going to continue ringing. Okay, anyhow, sorry. Free technology. What was I saying?
No, it's the
Told
power,
you.
the power is with, well, I think partially, bring it back in full circle, is that we've been brainwashed to look for answers and ways of doing and being outside of ourselves when all that, the power of that, so you're giving away, so you're trying to pull the power that's within you from somewhere outside, but it's already been within you. And people are always looking outside for that power, but it's not. Well, the power that sits outside of you is the evil power.
Exactly, because it's a narrative. Sorry.
Yeah, right, exactly. And that's what you're saying. Is the real, the genuine power, the authentic power is that which sits inside of you. And it's that power that beings that we are connected with, either through your family or through mentors that we have that are off planet or in planet in your earth. I mean, it is a sharing of our inner power, which we do with these beings.
So what I say to you in general, when you cover yourself, your aura,
Hmm.
which is you, inside and out, the chakras, the aura is the reflection of your chakras. I have videos about that in my.
We're going to put that in there. People can find your channel. Yeah.
You create that energy field, that a bubble. And I learned from the angelicals that is a blue iridescent protection. And people ask questions about that. You are free to go to that realm and to ask those questions, and they are going to tell you, do that, because that is the power of the energy. And anytime she's, if I can tell you for hours and hours and
I
hours,
know we
all those memories. Somebody
Well,
told me, it's
there's
right.
more hours to come. Save your stories for the next podcast. Yeah, for sure. Actually, one question I wanted to ask you was that I don't know if you do this or not, but there maybe folks will request. Do you offer any kind of counseling or chat services, counseling services to general public who might want to talk space with you, like talk more?
Like a year ago, I was in that mode, but I realized that I have no time.
Oh yeah, I don't.
I
I know
have no
you have a
time.
full-time job and it's
I
draining.
just was going crazy trying to do that, and I offered some healings, and I tried to do, and I was like happy because it's what you should be doing, and that is another thing that I do. I do healings in different planets, but I can show you. You maybe you have those pictures.
Mm.
See, as we go through the pictures, that is just because it's a lot of information. I try to remember, but one of the things that I do is one of my missions through times and multidimensional is I heal. I heal energies. That's my main mission, going to the universe and impact them with the energy, which is another episode.
Well, that's something, and maybe what we should do is take people on a little journey where you and I set a destination and we just in a live not well not live but be recorded, but we have a nice little relaxing journey for folks and they can travel somewhere with us. That would be, I think, a nice little just something positive and something just so we can all let our hair down and get off planet for a little bit and have a little bit of fun and yeah, I think that would be a cool beans thing for us to schedule in our next events, so to speak. But anyway, yeah. So Dennis, I want to thank you for sharing all those amazing stories and pictures with us, and we look forward to spending more time with you. And if you, yeah, I'm throwing stuff on the floor. I'm so excited. Okay.
Energy.
This this is a hell. People are like, I'm not going to air. They're all crazy. Yeah, the energies. Coming back down to Terran energy, yeah, we want to thank you for being with us today and thank our viewers. And as always, looking forward to the next chat. And well, we will say, see everyone upstairs.
Yes, for sure, because we always are there.
We need to do some more butt kicking. There's some more house cleaning. So much,
That
so much for all the love and light crap. Let's get to real.
that eventually is going to happen.
It is.
Just
Oh,
be
it's happening.
be present. That important thing about being mindful. Be mindful. Be present right here, right now. That is the key to go through this journey in this magnificent planet. The future is no longer here for us in this realm, and the past is no longer here. So, to me, the past is when we deal with depression, and the future is anxiety because we don't know what is bringing. So, the best way to hang in there, guys, is present time,
Mhm.
right here, right now, and being grateful because we are still here. We are here for a reason, powerful reason, that all we are getting in there. And when we get there, we are going to say, nah, and we were all concerned.
Yeah. Oh, there's never again for those who are a hell Pleiadian, we always say there's never a bad time for a good worry. No, There's
you
never,
know?
there's never a bad time to be a drama queen. So yeah. Oh God, brilliant. So
Thank you.
thank you so much, Dennis. We'll have you back again. Can't wait. And
Thank you.
thanks and see everyone upstairs. All right. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye.